It's a FSM machine. It's microcurrent. Doesn't really shock, but it gets,
Get your attention.
yeah, it does what it's supposed to do.
How's Cass feeling?
Cast is good. My arm, I feel getting smaller. I feel like I'm slipping out of the cast every day, but no, feels good. No pain. Surgery went well. Recovery's been really good. Um, Starting to lift and do things with my legs and my core and other stuff. Trying to figure out ways to still do some upper body lifts as well and keep me stay in some type of shape for sure.
How did the process go to decide to get surgery and shut it down?
It was mutual between us. I mean, obviously, Tommy and Ted, they always have a, players first mentality as to, what we do with our bodies. And they were always okay with whatever decision, I decided to make. But I got to the point to where I just couldn't do anything basketball wise that I was comfortable with doing. And I'd rather fix it now than worry about it, later or hinder it more throughout the year and be out later in the year and kind of hinder us that way. So just want to get it fixed, get back as quickly as possible, put it behind me.
How are you handling the disappointment not being able to play?
It's tough. It is tough because you guys know I always, if it ain't broke, I'm out there. But I mean, the cast is keeping me from being out there now. But it's definitely tough because I definitely want to be out there. I know what I can do and I know how valuable I am to the team and I know I can help for sure. It's definitely frustrating at times, especially on the road. I don't always travel to every road game, but at times, when you watch it on TV and you watch it in person, you get a totally different perspective. And there's some great times and then there's some challenging, frustrating times to watch too. It's always challenging to watch.
When you took the charge in Memphis, at the time that you know something was wrong, was it kind of like the adrenaline just set in?
I knew something was wrong. You see, I kind of sat there for a minute and paused. And my wrist kind of went numb for a minute. Couldn't feel it. Then I just shook it off and finished the game. And it was weird because before that, I had some little irritation in there. It wasn't hindering me from playing. But I had literally told our team, like our docs and my trainers, that I want to get it looked at preliminarily. And then sure enough, we had Memphis game and it happened. And granted, x-rays came back negative and MRIs and everything else came back showing something different. But I knew then it was some bad in a way. Yeah.
What does the calendar look like for you kind of moving forward, cast off, being able to dribble, being able to kind of get back to you?
So I'm in this cast for another 7 weeks, so 10 total, which is gruesome. Definitely doesn't feel as good as it sounds either. They both are bad. But 7 more weeks in this, then probably another 3 weeks after that, out of the cast to be able to get back to normal range of motion, a little strengthening stuff. So,
What do you make of your season individually, given it was a sample size of what before?
yeah, that's the frustrating part because I know I had so many more games left to do well. So I can't really put a judge on it, because it's kind of an incomplete, it's an incomplete year, incomplete assignment in a way. I just it's definitely frustrating, but I definitely knew I could have finished out the year on a strong note. I definitely feel like I could have helped contribute in a lot of ways. My biggest thing wasn't necessarily me individually. It was where could we be as a team, where could I lead us as a team? Where could we be? And I know for sure if I play, we can be in a position we want to be in. But it's still possible, and we're still in sight of that too. So, I kind of take on a new perspective in a leadership role and constantly being around, constantly trying to give my input. But it is individually I had up and down year. Me, I'm always my toughest critic, but I'm not going to kick myself right now. I'm not gonna do that. I'm already down. So.
Brad, the trade deadline timing you must have been like right out of surgery and still groggy.
Yeah, it was.
What were those things like? 'Cause obviously, usually, you said it so many times, you and Tommy would be having conversations and you were, checking with you.
Yeah, the timing of it was crazy,
Yeah.
for sure. But before I went into surgery, Shep kind of gave me a master plan of kind of what today would possibly be, things he was looking at and guys potentially on the move or whatever. So he kept me informed, but I honestly I didn't when I came out of surgery, I woke up and was like, what the hell happened? So it was crazy. It was crazy. To be able to see what Shep did and be able to get KP back out of the deal and get Ish back, a guy who's been here, who knows, what DC's about, knows how to play. Then just got our boy Saddle back too, but the deadline in itself was crazy, I would say.
What do you think that this team accomplished with Porzingis?
We definitely want to see him play. Obviously, we want him healthy. That's first and foremost, making sure he's 100% before he steps out there. But I really think he can be really exceptional for us. Like, we're huge now in a way. Like, it's crazy to think. I look at him and he's 7'4". He's a whole foot taller than me. Like, that is, I'm not comfortable with that. On no level. But it is remarkable to be able to see his size and then watch him in practice, watch him before, workout, before games, working out. His skill set, his touch, his ability to be able to shoot the ball. And then when I talk to him, he says he likes playing in the post. I think that's kind of a misconception people have about him, that he just loves to shoot threes, loves to be on the perimeter. But he told me he loves to be in the post. He loves to be physical down there. So I love that. I'm excited to see that. And just imagine him and Gaff out there. Just that's gonna be sick. And then you got Kuz, who's 6'9", 6'10". So we have great size. I'm excited about that. We've never had that. We've never had that.
Do you feel like the league is kind of changing, seeing what Cleveland did with 3 7-footers out there? Now all of a sudden it seems like
I didn't want to throw them out there, but yeah, it's a great comparison because they're doing it now. They got 3 of them. They got three. They got 3 footers. They got 3 footers, and they utilize them all very well. And I think that's a trend. It's not necessarily the big bruisers. Embiid and Jokic. Those are unicorns. You're not gonna see too many big bruisers in the game today. But now you got athletic footers who can spread the floor, who can do multiple things on the floor. That's the way to league. It's definitely transitioning in a way. I'm happy to see us on the forefront, but we got to make it work for sure.
What are you going to do right now working out? Why is it staying shape?
All legs. So I'm pretty much doing what I usually do. Mine is picking things up. I can't grab things yet. But creation these days, I'm able to use straps and other things I can just wrap around my shoulder, my elbow, and I get the movements and everything I need. So I'm pretty much back to everything. I'm not running. I can't run yet. The vibrations of the motion would alter it a little bit, but I'm doing some subtle jumping, light movement stuff.
That the way with not that many games left, and obviously you said, for Porzingis is the priority.
Yeah.
What do you feel like, other than winning, obviously, which is already stated, the goal of this kind of last chunk of the season has to be the team with you out with Porzingis, potentially coming back but ramping up. Like, there's not that much time left.
Yeah.
Coach, I know you're not the GM. What are you looking at?
I think playing consistently, regardless, obviously I wish I could play, but regardless of who's on the floor, even if KP isn't playing, we have to create that sense of consistency of how we're going to play, of what our identity is and how, we should just be able to plug in KP when he's ready and just take off from that because of how our system is and who we are, So I think it's a blessing in disguise too, because it grants Rui, it grants Danny, it grants Kuz, it grants Pope, it grants everybody a little bit more freedom to grow in a way on both ends of the floor. Gives guys bigger roles. Like Kuz has a bigger role now, and he's starting to realize how tough that role is, and he's doing well. And he's also saying that he may get double teamed. He may start seeing, guys jam him more, force him to dribble. And it's getting tougher. So I just think from just the depth standpoint, we're still there. We still have the depth at each position. But it's obviously just a matter of making it work and putting it together. But I love the fact of Rui and Denny, they getting a lot more freedom as young guys, and Corey, getting that freedom, getting that confidence they need, because they're going to need that in the playoffs, in those deep stretches, in those runs that we're going to have in the future.
Okay, what you want to do this off season with your on-court game.
Mhm.
What are the areas you want to concentrate on with your skill set?
Oh man, I always say everything, but obviously I need to shoot the three better. I think that'll be a big focus for me. It's my 3-point shooting, being more consistent for sure. I think that's it's gonna be a high area for me. Is shoot a lot of threes, deep threes, off the dribble threes, and be better at that for sure. Ball handling, always working on that, being better. Uh, everything. I always, me. I'm not perfect. Nothing I do is perfect or great. So I work on everything. Shooting for sure.
Obviously, you have a big offseason ahead. We talked about. How does the fact that your season's over change or affect the timeline?
I mean, it's as crazy as it may sound, like this is a blessing in disguise too. Like being out, because I can see the team, I can see our young guys develop, I can see coach continue to develop too. I can see us grow as a team. I don't have to rush to a decision. I don't have to rush to anything. Like everything is just take it a day at a time. Just take everything in a day. Like Shep, Ted, we're all good. We know what the summer is. And that's always been a straightforward communication between us. And I'm excited that I get to see our team. I get to see what we do in the draft. I get to see some preliminary free agent stuff that we may possibly do. So it's a great position to be in. I'm not mad at all.
Today's Kispert's birthday.
Hey,
What have you seen from his development from his first month to where he is now?
he's a mature rookie. He was never like a rookie and like a deer in the headlights, like a young guy, like a lot of like me coming into the league. He's very mature. He has the experience. He played in college a few years, so he came in with the understanding of how to play the game, and I think it was funny. I was talking to, I think, AG the other day of just how well Corey has a grasp of cutting. He just understands timing of when to cut, when not to cut, how to, when guys penetrate, how to seep into the open gap for shots. He's always open. And I think his ability and his confidence to take those shots and knock them down as a rookie has been great. He's just going to continue to get better, and I love the fact that he can put the ball on the floor. He's athletic, sneaky athletic. He'll dunk you. He makes plays on the defensive end too. So the sky's the limit for him. And again, I'm happy that he gets an opportunity too to be able to grow in a role. How well he's handled it, because it's a lot. It's a lot. You're asking somebody to come in and basically turn around a franchise in a way, right? It's pretty much a whole new team, right? New coach, new system, new everything. You're asking him to come out and win at a high level. That's tough on a coach, on a first-year coach. Like, he's been around the league for a long time, but we all know that sitting in the first seat is totally different, But he's handled it well. Like, he hasn't shown, at least to me or to the players, like he's given in to losses or he's given into the adversity. He's never done that. He's never done that. And that's one thing I admire. If your coach is willing to go through the fire and headstrong in it, your team is just going to follow right behind you. And he's confident in that. He leads by example. He's very vocal. He communicates at a high level. He's very intelligent. But I'm very impressed with how well he's handled it, the adversity, because we started out great. A coach can very well get the big head. Yeah, we're doing this, that, and the third. I've seen this, but, he was very down to earth. He's like, yeah, we got off to a good start, but adversity hits. And he's always big on, our true character shows on how we deal with this and how we come out on the other side of it. So I have a huge respect for Coach, for sure, and how he's handled the year.
Makes sense. A great start followed by the kind of like the mediocrity after that, followed by that's not the way you want it.
How to make sense of it? I don't know if I can. But it is odd that it happened the way it did, and frustrate on a lot of levels. I think we had a grand opportunity to really take it on the horns and really ride that and really ride the bull, throughout the rest of the way. But we kind of let go a little bit, whatever the case may be. And it was tough. I mean, granted, our situation, we try not to. I'm big on no excuses, but it is. We all seen it. Like, it was tough to play the amount of guys we were playing. It was tough to get everybody's rotations. It was tough to get healthy guys back into the lineup. It's tough to find those minutes, and Wes trying to figure out who I am as a person, as a player, who Spence is, who Kuz is, who, Gaff is. He's trying to figure out everybody on the fly, all while trying to get guys minutes, all while trying to make everybody happy. That is a tough job to do. That's a tough environment to be in, but we're not the only team that deals with that. That's, it's the league. But for us, it was tough. It was definitely tough to be, especially a lot of, like, everybody wants to play. And I think that was what I want everybody to know, is that we all wanted to win. We all want to win. And I think sometimes selfishly we may do too much to try to do that. Sometimes we may hold the ball too long. We may take a bad shot, but it's not selfish, like as an F the players, F my teammates. It's I want to win. I want to make a winning play. But we just couldn't put it together. We allowed a lot of adversity to kind of hit us, and we couldn't fight out of it. We couldn't break through it. And granted, after the break, I think there was kind of a sense of relief. Like, it's always tough around break. Everybody's tight. You don't know if you're gonna be here or not. I get it. But once the trade is done, it's done. Once deadline's done, it's done. Everybody kind of had a weight off their shoulders, and they were ready to play. And we came out, won a few games, and we're in the position we're in now to still make a run. So
sit back and evaluate and consider the future. What are the most important factors? Is it all on the court? Is there off the court stuff? What's most important to you?
Everything, for sure. Off the court, 100%. What we do in the community as an organization is super important to me. Like, we live in Ward 8. Like, it's crazy. I don't have anything to do now, so I'm on my computer all day researching. So it is amazing to see what Ward 8 is going to do around here, what all of St. Elizabeth East is going to turn into. It is amazing what that'll turn into. But I really hope that we have a big part in influencing more people in Ward 8 to be able to get these jobs, to be able to live in these homes that are being built, these nice townhomes that are getting built over here. So in a lot of ways, that plays a lot of it, plays a big factor into it too. What we do as an organization, what stamp can we leave in the community? What impact do we leave? Because it can just be window dressing and just be here in Ward 8 and just sit here and we're not doing anything about it. We're not helping the people who live here. It's great to have a facility here, but let's help them. Let's help. And I think the city's doing, Mayor Bowser, she's doing an awesome job with what she's putting together, her vision, her plan. Like, that is dope to see. But hopefully it comes to fruition how everybody thinks it should. But that plays a big part of it. And obviously winning, having a winning environment, having a group of guys who are committed to winning, having a group of guys who are committed to, buying into what coach wants, buying into, what the organization needs. And obviously I play a factor in that too. I have to be better. I can't just throw everything in, all the eggs in their basket. I have to be better. But being around a group of guys and who want to win and who will buy into what we need to do, that's important.
Could your calculus change because you're not playing? Is it that group actually does qualify for the play-in tournament or ultimately make the playoffs because you're not there and they end up doing something like that? I know before you were you're not a real big fan of playing, but if they do it without you, does that change your mindset?
I mean, it kind of changed when I went out, honestly, because I want to be out there. I want to be a part of the reason we make the play-in. But I'm 100% pushing for us to still do so. Well, if I was playing, I hope we wouldn't be in a play-in. My bad. but 100%. Like I'm still pushing for that. Like I'm pushing for my team, whatever it takes to get in the playoffs at this point, because I obviously know what I can do and how valuable I am to the team. But it doesn't necessarily change it. No, no, future wise, no, because I always want to make the playoffs, and I think we still have a team that can do something. 100%.
With a person of your caliber, there's always going to be speculation. What are you going to do? And so much of this stuff is sources to it.
Yeah.
So it's better to just ask you, like, are we doing it correctly? Long-term.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm here.
Make a big announcement right now.
I could,
Lights the people on fire.
but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. It's a big summer. It's a big summer, and I'm excited for it. And Tommy are too. We all are. It's a big summer.
Which is the lessons of this last season, either for you or the organization, kind of in terms of point guard, a more permanent point guard, in terms of what you need, what works in the organization, like what lessons do you hope to take from this past season?
I mean, that's tough. I mean, it's no knock on who we had. I mean, it just didn't, it just didn't work, because I 100% vouched for him to be here. So I'm not going to sit here and say it was always a bad move. No, no. But it's tough. I mean, because we have I guess a void at that position, but that's kind of that's what trades are for. That's what free agency's for. That's what the summer's for, So we communicate that a lot, Tommy and I. We have that mutual understanding of that's a need for us, and we look at the market, and there's a few guys that we're considering, but we gotta make that push and to make a deal done. So
What do you think of the release growth?
I love it. He needs to shoot more. He needs to shoot more. We got to find him, and he needs to shoot him. I know sometimes he probably may not be comfortable always. Probably feels like he's settling, but he's shooting 50 from out there, if I'm not mistaken, or close to it. Like he's shooting lights out. Regardless how many attempts he's shooting the ball really well. But I'm happy to see his confidence. He's every game I feel like he's gotten better. He's not doing anything out of ordinary. He plays hard. He does his job, and he competes. That's all you can always ask out of Rui. But we need him to continue to grow, continue to get better. Take that next stride and shoot more threes, taking his guys off the dribble if he has to mismatch. The game has slowed down for him more and more, for sure. But I'm happy to see his confidence at the level it is, for sure.
It's just been passing Porzingis before he got it.
A little bit, not much. Just only when we play him when he was with the Knicks, and a few times in Dallas. But see him, I know he'd be tough. He's a tough guard. He's very tough to guard. He's very skilled. He's 7'4", can block. He's a rim protector. Alter shots at the rim anyway. And it just is. I'm excited. He's a unicorn. I mean, we call him a unicorn, but he's definitely unique in a lot of ways. I'm excited to see him out on the floor. For sure. But he could be special. He could be special.
All right, Brad, let's move over to Zoom for just a few questions. We'll start with Neil.
Brad, first off, glad the surgery went well. When Tommy laid out, the plan to you before you had the surgery, did you have any idea that Porzingis was going to be an opportunity, or was that a complete shock?
He mentioned it earlier in the week, but I didn't know if it had legs on it. I didn't know if it was, it's real serious. It was just kind of a name. We looked at Porzingis. I mean, not Porzingis. We looked at Sabonis. We looked at a few other guys. But then once that that domino fell, he made a executive. You know, he did what was best for the organization, and he made it happen. How, I have no idea, but he got it done. You know, I woke up and we had a couple new guys on the team, so it was crazy.
And I know you said you're going to take the summer to think about things, but you're talking about the future. Kuzma, Porzingis, Gafford. You said as far as I know, I'm here. Is it fair to say that you're leaning towards re-signing?
It's fair. It's fair.
And then, okay, and then last thing, Kuz is now in a role where he sees those double teams that you're very used to. What do you think that you can maybe provide to him or anybody else on the team as advice as they keep going the rest of the season?
It's not going to get easier, but understand that understand the position he's in. I'm obviously going to. It's tough because we play a little bit different positions. He's a forward. I'm a guard. So a lot of times he may get doubled in the post. He may get doubled, on the block, or especially if he comes off ball screens. But the biggest thing is to stay aggressive. Stay aggressive at all times. Continue to put as much pressure on the defense as you can. Don't just accept double teams. Don't accept traps. Don't accept, how they guard you. Kind of get what you want, whether that's getting in the paint or getting, creating yourself a shot. And understanding you can't do it alone. You can't do it by yourself. I think those are two biggest things. For sure.
Thanks, Brad.
We'll go to Takashi. Takashi, you there?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Hello, Brad. My name is Takeshi Shibata from Tokyo, Japan.
My man.
Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
So my question is about Rui Hachimura's three-point shooting again, and what do you like mechanically about his shooting? He's especially improving from beyond the arc. So what do you like lower body stroke or even the follow through or something? What do you think?
He has a smooth shot. It's all one motion. I think that's a beauty in shooting. Limiting unnecessary movements in your shot. Rui has a very fluid shot, and he holds his follow through. That's what I love the most. You hold your follow through. You're able to kind of understand why you make him his shots. And he just has an unbelievable feel and confidence right now. The hoop looks like an ocean, and he's just chucking little stones in there. That's just where he is. And his mechanics are great. I love the fact he has a wide base. He shoots above his head and he holds his follow through, and the biggest thing that goes into shooting is confidence, and he's confident in shooting. Obviously we want him to shoot more and more and more. But he's confident in his shot, and he's taking it.
Did you give any advice to him about the shooting?
Me?
No?
No, honestly. He came in ready to go, from the first time he practiced, he's pretty much shooting this way, So, that's definitely a testament to the work he's put in while he was out, how serious he took it, just kind of his mindset now. He's coming in with a lot of confidence, playing well, and doing everything we need him to do.
Cool. Thank you so much. ありがとうございました。
And we will finish up with Kristaps.
Hey, Brad. Hope you're doing well, first of all. How important for you at this stage of the season with 21 games until the end of the regular season, how important is to be around the team more and more as the games goes on?
Mm-hmm. It's important, for sure, because given my perspective from, watching on the sidelines or, being at home and watching it on TV, like, it's important to give that insight to our team. We have a bunch of young guys. Like, we have young guys who can play, who are talented, and who want to learn. Like, TB hits me up all the time about what he can do better after every game. And he's always been like that since he first got here. And it's so cool to be in that role now to help guys. But it's always important for me to be around. I have to, it's educate me more. And I don't know everything about the game. There's still stuff I'm learning and I can be better at, so obviously just constantly learning, pushing guys, encouraging guys, and, giving my perspective of what I see, and what they can do and what they should probably try to avoid. But all in all, the biggest goal is helping this team win. How can I help win? Even if I'm out, how can I help the team win? That's being around.
And all those weeks that you are set out, what are your thoughts? How prepare yourself for the next off season and the next season as well? How you prepare yourself for it?
Well, I always take a break. I always let my body rest after the end of the year. Just allow it to relax, let your muscles calm down. Your adrenaline's been going all year. Just, take some time off, and then always evaluate my year, what I think I did well, where I can be better. And then I always put a plan together in the summer, of how I'm going to tackle, the things I was good at, continue to improve them, and, the things I want to be better at or what I want to add to my game, and really drill that every single day, for the summer. And it's always been the process. I get with Drew, I get with my guy Ben in LA, and I go to work. We put together a good game plan of, what we want to do, what we want to be better at, set goals for the summer, and be ready to hit it full steam come September, October.
Thank you very much. Get back stronger and hungrier than ever.
No,
All
yes,
right,
sir.
all set, Brad. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.